Hey everyone, it's Alex from Data's Marketing. Today I'm looking at a very high profile book launch that just happened and it seemed to be very successful. We're talking about Onyx Storm in the Fourth Wing book series. This is not going to be a book review or a literary commentary on anything. I haven't read the books. I don't know anything except there's dragons and this guy. This is more for marketing and business purposes and taking lessons from what made the book launch so successful and what we can do in our businesses and with our brands to make as successful launches. So first things first, let's start off by saying it's of course easier to have a successful launch when you have a great product. The Fourth Wing has over 2.4 million reviews and an average of 4.5 stars on Goodreads, which is insane. So the starting point is obviously great, but what took this to the next level is the marketing and the book launch, which is phenomenal. We're gonna break it down in a couple of different segments. So first of all, of course, we have to talk about BookTok and TikTok. So for those who don't know, people are reading more than before, and of course, thanks to social media, things are happening, especially on TikTok, which has a page or community called BookTok. These are kind of passionate readers who share their reviews, experiences, and insights into their favorite books. Yarros, the author, cleverly engaged BookTok readers and influencers by sending out ARCs, advanced reading copies, and exclusive content to influencers and content creators before the official release. These influencers and their communities spread the word fast and of course creates even more hype. Another thing that's been really interesting to see is when I looked into the marketing and advertising of this book is the special edition or limited covers that was teased in the lead up to the launch. These are limited in time and in number of copies, as well as some retailers have their own versions as well. This creates a sense of scarcity and uniqueness, and it brings fans to the store for pre-orders much quicker. And of course, if you're in the community we're talking about, then this is a must-have. Building on the limited edition covers, there is a consistency in the visual branding, fonts, and covers on all the books in the series, which makes it a lot easier for you as a customer to realize this is the same series, this is the same author, this is the same story that's being told. So it makes an instant yes in your mind if you're already into this product or this book in this case, which makes the sale very much easier because if it's out of the launch cycle where there is a lot of advertising and branding and merchandising as well, then you still go to the store. There's a consistency in the covers of the books. So 2 years down the line, if you started on book 1, then you can see this is book 3, and it's very easy for you to pick it up. And it's essentially just branding in a book series. One thing the author does really well is he stays active on social before, during, and after the launch of the book and interacts with her fans and the readers. So meetups or virtual meetups, signings, and online discussion keeps the buzz alive well past the release date as well. Readers feel seen and heard, which encourages them to keep sharing and recommending her books. Because one thing is, of course, the product, the other thing is who's behind the product as well. If you're in business, remember, launch day isn't the end point, it's the beginning. What you do after is as important as leading up to the launch. Now, we've touched on multiple points and we've mentioned community and social media. But let's take a closer look at some interesting approaches the author or publisher has made. The author has built anticipation for her books with an incredibly creative marketing move. She has utilized Spotify as a marketing channel. She and her team has made playlists for each book, which helps with engagement. earned media and building anticipation and expectations for the book. Her posts on Instagram says, "This is what I've been listening to while writing it. It doesn't have it doesn't follow the sequence of the books, but maybe." So the fans obviously listen to the playlist, and then they draw their conclusions, and the theories start going, and they start posting and commenting, which drives up engagement, and it's just basically earned media on all platforms. It's a really smart move, and the Spotify list alone has over 100,000 saves on Spotify, which is a huge playlist. Like I also mentioned, the engagement on Goodreads alone is enormous. There are over 2.4 million reviews on the first book, 1.7 million reviews on the second book. That's insane, and the ratings are usually very good. We're over 4.5 stars, which is incredible. But there are also other reading apps where fans have created book clubs and are sharing their reaction as they read, which again drives more engagement, and the experience automatically gets more interactive and more fun, which creates a better experience for the reader and for your product and your business. Which again, when you can share your experience, it generates better reviews and more readers because the reviews are better, the earned media is wider, and then you sell more books. She has obviously also used Instagram masterfully. With over 1 million followers, she creates engaging content and shares teasers for the books, which makes people speculate, both in her comment section, which spreads her profile wider to a wider audience, but also on other platforms. People start making TikToks or writing posts on Reddit. So her marketing campaign around the books and the community she's built has been very interesting to watch, especially as someone who hasn't read the books. And then, of course, she's done mainstream media, going on talk shows and talking about her process and her books, as well as obviously newsletters, because you can own the data and send it directly to your subscribers. So what are some actionable takeaways for us as marketers or business owners? The first thing is obviously build community, not just a customer list or followers on social. We want a community that interacts with each other. The best communities are self-driven, which means you don't have to directly build them. You don't have to build a Facebook group. You don't have to necessarily build engagement. You don't have to sit there and talk to everyone. They are communicating with each other inside communities. That is lesson one. It's so clever, and also it's usually much cheaper to sell to the community than to anyone else. Number two is something we're working on right now, and that's maintaining a consistent visual branding. It's more recognizable. It's easier for the customer to convert because the trust is there. You're already associated with the product. When you already see the brand, then you convert much faster, which makes it again cheaper for you to make the sale. Number three is engage continuously with your audience, with the community, not just building up to the launch or at the launch. We want to engage throughout the year, like continuously, because what we see is a lot of brands just building up a hype cycle, launching, and then you hear nothing from them, and then you go again, which is it's a business model, but it makes it much harder for you to stay in touch with your target audience, and the community kind of dies out over time if you don't engage. And then number four is, of course, use multiple channels to create buzz and discussions, because something that works on TikTok or Instagram might not work on Facebook or in traditional media. So use different platforms, test different platforms. Some of them complement each other. Like when you use Spotify to build hype, it's not directly converting, but it builds more and more hype for the main product, which maybe comes later. And it builds engagement, and it gets people talking. Like I said, the community starts engaging with each other without you needing to be there. Yarros is not just selling books, she's creating a movement, a community. Her marketing strategy shows that success comes from making customers feel like they're a part of something special, not just buying a standalone product. For marketers and business owners, the message is super clear. Connection trumps promotion. Build a community and the success will follow. This was something a bit different from the content I usually post and usually talk about. There's not a lot of book content or kind of these breakdowns. I think this is very interesting, and it's very different than the products we usually work with. I hope this was entertaining and insightful, and I'd love for you to subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next one.